Hello you guys, this is Rita with Restyled Renewed, and I'm going to do a super quick demo on prepping your furniture because this piece, I'm about to do this piece, and this is the piece I'm going to do the decoupage paper on, which is this gorgeous paper that is brand new. The fibrous paper that just came into the store. I haven't used it yet, and I'm going to do decoupage on these drawers. So not today, but come back sometime and I will show you how I'm going to do the decoupage and the glue I'm going to use and how I got the cutouts here to fit on the side. So I'll show you all that in another video. This is a video, someone asked me to do a quick demo on prepping their furniture. They've never done it before. So I'm just going to do a super quick rundown of what I do. And this is a perfect piece to stand in front of because it is slick. And this is the kind of piece that you need to scuff sand. So if you guys know about this, just keep on going. You don't want to watch it then. So something like this, I'll show you a close-up. You can see it's like a laminate. Can you see? It's like super slippery, almost like a gloss. And so this is the kind of furniture that you want to scuff sand. If you don't scuff sand this, what's going to happen is the paint is going to just come right off. So furniture like this, can you see the side? It's really glossy and slippery. You want to scuff sand this. So what you're going to do, you're going to clean your piece really well. I don't care what you use. Dawn soap, crud cutter, denatured alcohol, something. Clean it. Rinse off these soaps. And then you're going to scuff sand. And I will show you what I mean by scuff sanding. So this is what I mean by scuff sanding. It's super quick. See? This is a 220 grit. All you need is a 220 grit piece of paper, sandpaper. And you can feel, it feels a little bit rougher now. What you want to do is you're prepping the surface to be, so the paint will be accepted onto it. If you don't do that, your paint could peel off. So don't take any chances with that. You're just roughing it up. So you're going to go down the whole way on your piece. See what I do? It's super fast. So that is what I mean when I say scuff sanding, right? It's not going to take you forever. It's quick. It is absolutely worth it to do that because this is slick and glossy and it needs it. So there you go. Once you do that, you're just going to clean it off with some water or take a tack cloth. You can get at Home Depot and wipe it down with a tack cloth. After that, sometimes furniture needs to be primed. Not every single piece does. About 80% of the time I will prime. My go-to primer is clear shellac. This is a miracle primer. Yes, you can use it as a primer. That's what I do. Because I do a lot of distressing, I use clear shellac. This is my go-to. If you don't want to do that, that's oil-based. If you don't want to use that, and if I'm using metallic paint, Modern Masters metallic paint, which I sometimes paint with, then I will use this, Zinnser. This is a latex primer. It is tintable. See the word tintable. I usually get a light gray tint. So if you don't want to use the shellac, something like this to prime your pieces. It just depends. You know, knowing whether you need to prime or not just comes with experience. If you don't know if something needs to be primed, if you have a slick or a really old piece, then you want to prime. Let me just say this. It is never, ever bad to prime. You can never, ever go wrong priming. And if you want to see your wood underneath, then you need to use something like clear shellac, okay? So next, what's next? We primed. Now we're going to paint. So she wanted to know about brushes. So I will tell you guys, I use a ton of different brushes just because I do this full time. So I have to have all sorts of brushes. Some really good brushes are Klingon. Klingon are good brushes. I have number 16 and number 20. Those are good. If you're using a chalk type of paint, Paint Pixie has really good brushes. I sell them in the online store. This is another Paint Pixie brush, okay? If you are using a paint like General Finishes, Fusion, even Dixie Belle, then I use these kind of brushes, Purdy. This one is made in Holland, I think. Stahlmeister. That one, Purdy or Worcester are the ones that I use if I'm using a paint like Fusion, General Finishes, or Dixie Belle. Those are the ones I use for that kind of a paint. Purdy, it makes great brushes. You easily get these at Home Depot or Lowe's, so people like that. For a chalk-ish type of paint, which I usually am using chalk kind of paint, then I use the natural bristle brushes. A lot of people don't like these, but that's usually what I use when I'm using a chalk style of paint. But if you want a brush that you can use just about any paint, then these ones are great ones for that, Klingons. Okay, so then she wants to know, how does she paint? I'm going to show her so she knows how to paint, okay? So let's say you have a long, let me turn this. So she's going to be painting huge cabinets in her bedroom. So you want to then use a roller, and the rollers that I use if I'm painting a large service, a tabletop, let's say I'm doing a French provincial dresser top, I use these rollers. I buy these on Amazon. I go through a ton of them. I'll show you the front so you know. It's a foam roller. You don't have to buy this brand, but it's a foam roller. Foam. And these will give you a good finish. Shoreline, I get them on Amazon, okay? That's what I use. So, let's pretend I'm painting this. I'm going to do my painting right here, right? Got my paint on here, got my roller ready. I'm going to paint like this. Right? I'm going to take my wonderful, good quality, high quality brush, and you're going to go down. So that's what I do to get a smooth finish. I do my roll, right? I do my rolling, and then I take my high quality $1 million brush you paid $1 million for. You're going to use that, and you're going to do, it's like feathering. So you're going to feather down, right? Like that. And that smooths any problems that you had, right? The foam roller does leave a tiny, tiny bit of a foam look. So what I do, that's why I come back and I feather. You do not want to do your whole piece with your roller and then come back, because it will be dry. Like the paint dries so fast, right? Furniture paint dries super fast. So that's why I do a section at a time. I do my rolling, and then I come back and I do my feather down. Then I come back and do my next section, down, feather all the way down, and all the way. If you're doing a tabletop, same thing. You're going to do one section at a time, right? You're going to roll, and then you're going to get your expensive brush, and you're going to feather across to smooth everything out. So that's what you're going to do. You do at least 2 coats. If you are working with pure white, I do a minimum of 4 coats when I'm working with pure white paint. 4 coats. It just requires a lot more coats. That's just the way it is. So there you go. That is the rundown of how to paint. Hopefully this will help her. Now top coats, my go-to top coats that I trust 100% is Modern Masters Dead Flat Varnish and Annie Sloan Waxes. Those are my 2 go-to top coats that I trust 100%. I put them on all sorts of paints. Modern Masters is an incredible company. They make fantastic top coats. Artisan Enhancements Clear Finish is another top coat that you can go on, that can go on pure white. Very hard to find a top coat for pure white that stays pure white. But Modern Masters does, and Artisan Enhancements Clear Finish can go on pure white, and it will stay pure white. So that's it, you guys. I think I have covered everything. Your top coat, make sure, depending on what your top coating, you need to put on at least 2 coats of top coat. If I'm doing like a top of something, like a top of dresser, if you're doing wax, you want to put on 2 coats of wax. If you're doing like a flat finish, like a Modern Masters top coat, I put on 3 to 4 coats. So it just depends on what you're top coating, right? Okay, so anyways, that is the rundown, you guys, of prepping and the basic painting. Hopefully she got all this. Very quick demo. And I'm going to come on either tomorrow or the next day and show you guys how I do this amazing decoupage paper. We're going to be doing it on this dresser. This is a lingerie chest. So we are going to be decoupaging the front of these, and I have them all cut out, and I'll show you how I got the measurements, my trick to cutting down the paper. And I'm going to show you the glue I'm going to use, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm still have to come back later and show you guys the frame I'm working on. I will still come back and do that this afternoon. So that's it, you guys. Any questions on basic painting and prep, leave it in the comments and I will answer you. Okay, thanks so much.